Welcome back. We're going to continue on. We're going to go 15 through 16 in here, and we're going to talk about equations of circles. And if we remember that they're asking me for the first one is that we're talking about the center of the circle. And so if you remember, the standard form of the equation of a circle looks like this. It's kind of the distance formula in a weird sort of way. And so in this case, h and k are the centers, and you'll notice that it says the opposite of h and opposite of k is what you're seeing in the equations, but the center itself is h comma k. So if I'm looking at what I've got up here, you'll notice with the x squared there is no h value. So for my center, there's going to be a 0 in the x, and in my k it looks like -2, but it matches that negative sign. So the opposite of -2 would be my center point, which would give me a value of 2, and that is the center. All right, when they're asking for the general form of an equation, they're asking you to multiply out this and get it into basically not a perfect square form here. So the x squared I have nothing to do with. The y minus 2 squared part is the part that I actually have to multiply out. And so if you remember from Algebra 1, we multiplied out any things like this. This is y minus 2 squared, if you remember, is the same as y minus 2 times y minus 2. So if you remember, we did an area model when we did that in algebra. So I'm going to go y minus 2, and I'm going to multiply and fill in the area of these boxes. So y times y is y squared, y times -2 is -2y, -2 times y is -2y, and -2 times -2 is +4. So remember, on this diagonal right here in the middle, these guys will combine together because they are like terms. Nobody else is like terms. So when I start writing out my equation, I'm going to get x squared. Y squared is its own term. The -2y and -2y combine together to give me -4y. I'm going to add the 4 on, that's in that final box, and that would equal 36. Probably the only thing left to do is either move the 4 across the equal sign by subtracting, or move the 36 across the equal sign by subtracting. I'm going to move the 36 by subtracting, so I'm going to subtract 36 across the equal sign. And so my final equation is going to be x squared plus y squared minus 4y. Subtracting 36 from 4 gives me -32 equals 0, and I believe that is general form of the equation. The next question is asking us for the area of a circle, and you remember from this unit that area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. If you look at my equation and remember that 36 is the radius squared, so then the area is 36 pi. You could multiply that out if you'd like, and that would give you, depending on how the answer is written, 36 pi is the exact answer. Multiplied out in decimal form is 113.097, and then there's a whole bunch of other decimals after that. Finally, they're asking me to graph the circle, so I'm going to set up a coordinate grid that looks something like this. And so then I would put my little marks on here. Let's see, I need a bunch of them, so I'll just put a bunch of marks on here to get my graph. All right, so I've got a graph here. First thing I do is plot my center, which I have over there, which is 0 and 2, so I'd put a point at my center. And then from there, since my radius squared is 36, well, that gives me that if I take the square root, my radius is 6. So from this point of 0, 2, I'm going to count in every direction 6, and that will complete my circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, 6 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, puts a point over there, and then I will do my best And it never comes out right, but I'll do my best to make the circle. And so that would be the graph of the circle that we're dealing with. All right, and then the final question in here is asking us about the equation of the circle. So again, I want my equation in x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. So the first thing I have to do is find my center, which is h and k. All right, well, I'm going to look for the center. It looks like my center is right there. And so my center point is 3 over and 2 up. So if I'm going to start writing the equation of my circle, I'm going to say x minus 3, it's the opposite of what it looks like, plus y minus 2 squared. And then my radius squared, well, my radius is from the center in every direction. That's 2. It's 2 up, 2 left, 2 right, 2 down. And so my radius in this is 2. So if I set it equal to my radius squared, it's either going to be 2 squared or 4 over here. And that is the equation of the circle that I'm looking for. All right, this concludes our video for this section. We will have more in just a